Well, speaking of metal companies, actually, before we get you more of technical analysis, let's get to Nitesh Jain. He's a Senior Vice President, Axis Capital, and he handles the material segment for that brokerage. Nitesh, thank you very much for joining us. Well, the Cairn Vedanta deal. Vedanta shareholders have got a little more advantages. Do you think now Vedanta is a stock that can move in the green, or do you think there are no further positives left?
So I think if you look at the revised merger terms which the company announced, they are quite positive for both Vedanta as well as Cairn shareholders. As far as Cairn shareholders are concerned, they will get exposure to much diversified earnings of Vedanta, which has exposure to many metals. And similarly for Vedanta, it resolves the cash fungibility issue of the group, which the group has been facing for last 2 years. So all in all, the announced deal, if the merger is successful, it's quite positive for both the companies.
But Nitesh, what is the positive for Vedanta? I mean, it is just that the uncertainty of the deal perhaps gets resolved. I mean, if anything, if there was a surprise at all, it was for the Cairn shareholder getting 4 more preference shares. For Vedanta, it is just the uncertainty, end of uncertainty, and the fact that they are going to be able to put their hands on Cairn's kitty.
No, it's just not the cash balance of the Cairn. If you look at the structure of the group, the parent company has a lot of debt, which they accumulated by acquiring all these companies. And on the other end, the subsidiaries are generating a lot of cash. So when they simplified this structure, or when they merged Cairn into Vedanta, the debt and the cash both get matches with each other. And that is where you actually get a lot of value created because of this. Some of the auxiliary benefit which I can see is like when they have this kind of high cash position and its matching debt, then obviously their credit rating improves, the interest cost goes down for the group as a whole. Similarly, they have a lot of financial flexibility in terms of planning their capex. They can invest capex in the way they want in multiple businesses. So it's not just the access to the Cairn's cash balance or the EBITDA. It's like it helps them in many things.
So can you give us some numbers then for Vedanta particularly? You said it will help, reduce its net debt. Post the merger, how much will the net debt to EBITDA improve for Vedanta? And overall as well, how much do you think the balance sheet pressure could be off?
Yeah, so basically it will greatly help on the balance sheet side, because if you look at today, the Cairn has about $3.5 billion of cash balance on the books, and even if at the current low crude oil prices, they are generating about 4,000 crore of EBITDA every year. And so this is one thing. And on the other hand, if you look at Vedanta per se, the base businesses are improving a lot. For example, last 2 years, their aluminium and power assets were not generating any cash flows. But if you look at this year as well as next year, they will be ramping up their aluminium and power quite rapidly. So last year the company did about 0.9 million ton of aluminium. This year they should be doing about 1.4 million ton of total aluminium volumes. So all in all, the access to the Cairn cash balance, Cairn EBITDA, as well as the improvement in the base businesses of Vedanta itself, it will reduce and help them to reduce the debt quite a lot.
But how much of this is already in the price, you think? Because, the stock, Vedanta, has gone from 60 to 170 in a span of 6 months. You think most of the good news is already in?
No, I don't think so, because if you look at the metal prices as such, just look at LME zinc, it has risen 50% in last 6 months from its January lows. So it's not just the merger announcement or news about the merger. The metal prices, particularly the non-ferrous, has been doing very well.
But is there more to go? I mean, we've seen that rally already play out. What's the in-house view and the global cues that you are getting?
So our in-house view on the metal prices, while as a commodity complex we are not very bullish, because the risk related to China and there is overproduction in China. But we are particularly on one particular metal, zinc, we are very positive, because globally a lot of mines, high profile mines have got closed, and like the Century mine or Vedanta's Lishin mine itself. So there is a expectation that there will be huge deficit of in the zinc market, and zinc is a micro market. It's not like a very large commodity like iron ore, coal, and other like crude oil. So zinc, we are very positive, and we continue to remain positive and see more upside in zinc prices.
So what's your target price on Vedanta now?
So our target price is 200 rupees. We have been positive on Vedanta for quite some time. and we continue to remain so. And because of this merger, I think there could be some upside in the stock even from CMP.
Okay. Since you also track the cement space closely, I wanted to ask you about the earnings that we've had so far. Really good numbers coming in from the likes of Ultratech, Heidelberg, etc. How have you read into them, and any target prices there?
So on the cement sector, you're right that the earnings were quite positive, and the fact that barring Western India, cement prices are very strong across the board, whether it is North India, Central India or South. So our sense is that cement companies will continue to report higher earnings, and EBITDA per ton trajectory for the cement companies look higher. There are some cost increases, particularly in petcoke and domestic coal prices going up. But I think the higher cement realization would offset some of these increases, and EBITDA per ton will be maintained. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nitesh, for that very comprehensive analysis of the Vedanta deal itself and what it means to Vedanta shareholders. Okay, so possible green on the Vedanta stock as well, Cairn perhaps also to some extent.